Hello Glam Fam! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope everyone is doing well who is tuning in right now. Tonight's video is going to be heavily focused on creating a quick and easy glamorous hairstyle in the form of a bumper bang. I promise it is fast and snappy and will get you out the door very quickly. I'll be sharing all my tips with you in tonight's video, plus adding a little bit of extra on those days that you want to go more. And yes, if you haven't noticed, the background of my studio has changed. I have moved my studio. I promise a new beauty room tour will be coming to this space within the next couple weeks. If you don't want to miss it, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification. And with that, I would love for you to come hang out with me and see how I created today's look. You can see that my hair is in a little top knot, so I'm going to let that down. And the first thing that you're going to want to do is really just brush through your hair, get out any of the kinks, knots from the previous day style. Now, if you have not styled your hair, let's say you've just freshly washed it, I will let you know that doing bumper bangs on freshly clean, washed hair is a little difficult. I do suggest doing this as a go-to for a second day or third day on hair look. This is a quick and easy bumper bang tutorial, so I am going to be using a donut to help style the bumper bang today, but I promise that I'm going to be showing everyone in the near future how you can create a bumper bang without using a donut. So stay tuned for that. It will be coming out in the coming month. So as I just mentioned, you're going to want to get a hair donut. Any hair donut that's suited to your hair color. So if you're blonde or even strawberry blonde, you're going to want to choose a blonde donut. If you have anywhere from light brown to dark or black hair, you're going to want to choose a corresponding color that matches your hair color. That way, if there isn't a seamless coverage of hair over the donut at all times, it's pretty much concealed and doesn't stand out like a sore thumb. Now, I have cut my donut in half. It looks really inappropriate right now. And the other thing that I also did is once you cut that donut in half, because you're going to be using this as your bumper bang, you can thin out the girth of your donut that now looks like a sausage roll by just cutting the mesh portion of this, mesh sausage donut hair recruitment. I have gone ahead and I've done that already, and I've kind of squeezed it in between my hands to make it the width that I like or that I think looks good for my hair. This is really gonna depend on how thick your hair is or how fine your hair is. If it's finer, it's easier to cover the donut when the donut is a little bit thinner and not as thick. If your hair is really thick, you can get away with a little bit more. You want to make sure that you roll the mesh back up into a nice uniformed roll. And then you're going to want to hold it up against your head, kind of get an idea of what those bangs are going to be looking like. So outside of using a donut today, here are some other really fun things that you're going to want to complete this easy go-to look. Pomade is going to be extremely helpful for smoothing out any flyaways, and I'm using the Suavecito. You're going to want some hair clips. These are going to help hold your hair out of the way while you're styling. A rat tail comb, this one is from Cleopatra, I love it. And then a nylon back combing brush. This is for smoothing only. I use two different hairsprays when I'm creating my vintage hairstyles. One is the Pureology. This is like a molding hairspray. It allows you to manipulate the hair and still brush through it. And then my final setting spray, which is the Bedhead Masterpiece hairspray. It even leaves the hair a little bit shiny. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about the hair tools that I use in particular, there is a dedicated video to that. It will be in the description box down in the drop link menu. So grab your coffee, your drink, whatever it is, what time of day you're watching this, and let's get started. So the first things first is you want to section your hair in a U shape. And the way that I go about doing this is I think, you know, if you went to your hairdresser and you told your hairdresser that you wanted bangs, they would part your hair a certain level back and then they would chop it. So that's kind of what you want to do when you are creating your bumper bang, is to think about that portion of hair being the entire bumper bang area. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on this look. So make sure you correspond with me, put something down in the comments thread, let me know what your favorite thing it was that you're learning right now. Once you get the top section sectioned off, you want to get these side pieces clipped out of the way so that you're not having to deal with it while creating your bumper bang. And if your hair is more on the fine side, you can do a little bit of light back combing. That's what I'm gonna do because I just think it's really helpful. So I'm gonna use my Cleopatra comb and I'm just gonna lightly back comb my hair, trying to stay away from the ends. When you do get down into the ends, it will make it a little bit unruly looking, which is great in some instances, but if you want your bumper bangs to look smooth, you're gonna wanna make sure those ends don't get all kinds of frizzy. You're gonna wanna make sure you have bobby pins in the color of your hair. So for instance, all of mine are going to be in a blondish, strawberry blondish shade. These are U-pins. I do suggest having both on hand, a regular bobby pin and a U-pin, just because it makes securing the sausage roll, because we cut it in half, it was a donut, a little bit easier. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your sausage roll and you're going to get those ends. Fold this. I'm just bringing it right in towards my scalp to the top of my forehead. You don't want it to be too tightly rolled, but you also don't want it to be too loose because you want to be able to spread your hair around the donut. Now, holding the donut in one hand, you don't want to make a complete circle with the donut because that would be weird. These are bumper bangs after all. You just kind of want to do a slight U shape, and you want to hold, if you can, you want to hold it with one hand and take a bobby pin and push that bobby pin down in and through the sausage or the donut and up against your scalp. This is going to help secure it to your scalp, and you'll use less bobby pins doing it this way. I usually only use 3 on each end while I'm securing it. Once the one side is secured, just go ahead and do the other side. You're anchoring in the donut to your scalp and your hair, which will help as you're creating this look. Now I only have 2 bobby pins on that side. I've got 3 on this side. I'm actually gonna take this out. Once your donut is in place, you're gonna just take your fingers and lightly bring your hair around the donut. That's gonna help close off the bumper bang right here so that you don't see the donut. And then of course you can use a mirror to kind of look around, make sure that you've got it right. They're closed. It's really just about learning your hair, how much it will cover. This is another reason I suggest thinning out the donut a little bit if you don't feel your hair is thick enough to truly cover it, or maybe you have really light hair like I do and you feel like it's going to be a little bit see-through. Now, everything is in place. Spritz. This is just going to kind of help start locking that hair onto the donut. The donut is made of plastic, mesh material, so it really helps to bond the hair to it. And if you have hair that you feel is a little more frizzy than you would like, you can take a tiny bit of pomade. You can take a little bit of pomade, rub it between your fingers, and then just lightly rake it over the bumper bang anywhere you feel you need some smoothing. And that is a very basic bumper bang. Now you can do anything at this point. You can roll the back of the hair, you can put it up in a bun, but I want to show you just something that I do that is also quick and easy to give it a little bit of extra. What I like to do is I will take my rat tail comb, I will part just to the top of my ear and pull all the hair forward and then clip this portion out of the way. I'm going to do that on both sides. So now you should have two, what is this called, Pollyanna? Have you all watched Pollyanna? If you have seen Pollyanna, please put it in the comments thread and let me know. But you should have two Pollyanna sides right now off to the side if you are following along at home. And what I do like to do with these is I will give them a little bit of back combing. So I'm going to scoot back and I'm going to wrap the ends around my index finger and middle finger. I'm going to pull them out and then I'm going to start rolling them down towards my scalp, rolling the hair down towards my scalp. And you can see it creates this really pretty little roll at the top, and I like to push that roll down. I call the opening of the roll a bud. I've said that before in one of my tutorials where I was showing how to do victory rolls. I just think it looks like a rosebud, and that's why I call it that. You're gonna give it a light spritz of hairspray, and then just add bobby pins down inside the top portion of the roll until you feel it's secure to the top of your head. I use about 3 to 4, and it's really going to depend on your hair and how your hair is, whether it's thick or fine. And then use molding hairspray so that you can manipulate that roll and help it to stay. Hold the roll with my opposite hand to keep it in place while I'm inserting a bobby pin. I think that that's really helpful, and I try to share as many tips as I can with all of you because I know that that's what helps me, is like those inside, little tips and tricks. Here is the finished look. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial. It's just something quick and easy that I like to do to make myself feel very glamorous, but literally it will take me 5 minutes. Like when I'm not filming and zhuzhing myself up completely, it will take me about 5 minutes to do this look. If you loved it, make sure you leave it a thumbs up, and please put in the comments down what was your favorite thing about learning tonight. Was this something that you've seen done before, or is this a brand new tutorial for you and you've never even considered it? Whichever it is, please let me know. I love hearing from you guys. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell notifier so that you always know when my videos premiere. YouTube does allow you to tweak your notifications now. So if you don't want to miss any of my videos, make sure you click the all on your post notifications. I do post every Friday at 4 o'clock, so I hope to see you back here on the space hanging out with me. All my social media handles will be in the description box, so if you'd like to join the Glam Fam over there, see sneak peeks and behind the scenes before it even launches to YouTube, please come and be a part of that community. At the same time, take a Snapchat of the image, share it on your social media, tag at miss.audrey Monroe, and I will make sure that I not only give you a shout out in my next video, but also put your handle in the description box. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. Remember, stay kind and glamorous to one another. The world is a dark enough place with everything going on. So just sprinkle a little bit of kindness and glamour to those that you meet, and I hope that I will see you back here next week. Loving the mohawk? Let me know.